This is Space Pod.
Faithful Trigger.
Faithful Trigger. And basically, I own this 2009 GSX-R750.
I got the 2009 Kawasaki ZX6R.
And we are gonna
switch bike. I'm gonna ride this bike on the canyons and we're gonna do a comparison video with Space Pod.
And I'm gonna ride this bike and we're gonna give our feedback and impressions.
Stay tuned.
Yeba yeba.
Yeba yeba.
Okay, so Michael, so now that we've ridden each other's bikes, they're both 2009, so it's like an old version of Sport Rider, you know? Basically, let's talk about everything a viewer would want to know. First, how much did you pay for your awesome ZX6R?
I bought my bike around 2011 and the year of the bike is 2009, so I bought it brand new. I got it for $8,000 OTD.
See, you got a great deal. My bike, I bought it used. It was one owner before me. He did a lot to it though. I got it from a dealer in LA. I think it was LA Cycle Sports or something like that. It was $9,500, which is considerably more than what he paid. But you are getting the 750cc. And the main reason I paid that price is because in my version, in my color, in the 2009, which is the last year of the new headlight design, it was just hard to find. And a lot of people want those bikes for race bikes. So, you got a great deal, sir.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, for a new rider, which bike do you think is easier to handle everywhere? Let's say street, short rider, tall rider, canyon. What do you think?
I think just the 600cc is good enough for everything you need. You can bring it to the racetrack, you can bring it to the canyons, you can bring it to the side street. How about you? What do you think?
Well, I agree with you except for the height issue. Although your bike is fairly, it's lower than it used to be, it's considerably taller and wider than my bike. The way you measure inseam is, or as far as how tall a bike's going to be, is the height of the bike and the width of the seat. So your bike is definitely a little bit taller and mine's a little bit lower. However, I think yours is a little bit better handling. And I noticed in the canyons, you tip it just a little bit and it's just very smooth, not too much engine braking. So I think for the canyons, your bike gets the nod.
Yes. I think so too, because well, comparing the ride of the 750 and the 600, the 09 600, I feel more comfortable leaning the bike to the corner than your 750.
Yeah, the transitions are just easier on your bike. And also remember, on a 600cc, you have less rotating mass. So it's easier to turn a 600 anyway. However, your bike handles well regardless.
But the thing about the 750 displacement is you don't have to change gear as often as a 600. But the power delivery of the 750 is I really like of that power delivery.
Right. Sometimes, exactly. I agree with that, because I've owned a leader bike, an R1. I've owned a 600, which is the Gixxer, and I've had the 750. And for me, that's like a Goldilocks zone, because as we mentioned, 5 pounds difference in weight, and one little R55 from Yoshimura exhaust change, or any exhaust of your choice, and you're going to save a lot of weight.
Like the 750 is just the best of both worlds.
I think so.
The weight of the 600 and in close to the power of the 1000. So right in between, right there.
Exactly.
That's a good bike.
It's not. I don't think it's a compromise as far as a bad thing. I think it's the best of both worlds, just as Michael said. Let's talk about maintenance and working and service, working on your bike. How do you feel about the Kawasaki? I don't know if you've ever worked on a Suzuki, but I could talk about how it is to work on my bike.
On changing oil in the Kawasaki is really easy. You just the oil filter is just on the side. You just twist it. And
do you have to remove the body to take?
No, you don't have to. It's just on the side and it's open area. So you just
see, with my bike, you actually have to remove the lower fairing, and then you can get access to the oil filter. So it's a little bit of work, but Suzuki's in general I find pretty easy to work on, way easier than Yamaha's. The Yamaha was like origami with the body kit, like this tab, and it's like a tangled mess. At least with the Gixxer, it's much easier, and it sounds like it's very easy with the Kawasaki.
Yeah, it's very easy on the 600, the 09 model, because it's just outside. Just turn it, it's off already.
That's very nice, man. How's the aftermarket support? Pretty good?
Yes.
I guess it's pretty good for all bikes, you know. If you have a Japanese bike,
Japanese,
everything.
Everything's
out there.
Yeah, it's cheaper than the Italian bikes, for sure. Right.
Now, what else would a viewer want to know about our bikes, do you think? Let's see, we've covered ride height, we've covered flickability, we've covered the advantages of a 750, that's 3, make a 3, and let's see, we've covered maintenance and service a little bit. The parts, how much do parts cost for your bike? Pretty cheap?
Pretty cheap.
Normal price?
Japanese,
See, with Japanese bikes, you're going to get about the same experience. Italian bikes, you might experience a little bit more cost with service and parts.
Oh, for you guys, if you want to know, riding a 2009 ZX6R, the clutch is very smooth. The slipper clutch is really good. So I think it's a good beginner bike.
Do you have a slipper clutch on yours?
Yeah.
Slipper clutches are great. You got to have a slipper clutch because, especially for a beginner, as you mentioned, you know, if you release that clutch a little bit too fast and you're coming down in gear, well, that slipper clutch is going to take care of you. It's not going to let you skid the back tire and have an issue.
That ZX6R is very forgiving for the clutch, and you're not going to install it easily. It's very, you can learn fast on that bike, I think.
Does your bike have ABS or traction control?
No, but
same here.
But you can control the power from clutch and gasoline.
Yeah, old school power, clutch, brake.
Yeah. I never felt scared while turning. It feels very planted on the road. Never wiggle. It's very stable when you're turning. It's very stable because I think
Which bike is this?
Mine.
Oh yeah.
Because I think it's
the turning is very nice.
I think it's the shock and the suspension of the bike is really good in that model.
Yeah, riding your bike makes me think I need to adjust my steering or my suspension to make it a little bit more flickable. Even though I like the stability of the Gixxer, I'd like it to be a little bit more flickable like your bike.
Yeah,
and your brakes are really good too, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I felt about your bike on turning. The suspension feels like I don't. The power is really good. I can go straight fast.
Right.
But while in the corner, I feel like the suspension is soft, so I don't feel like leaning leaning as far as I can lean on the 600.
Yeah, I think part of that is the weight difference, the 50-pound weight difference, and my bike, my Race X suspension is set up for me, and you're probably going to feel a little bit of wallowiness or softness. Yours actually, though, yours felt pretty good even with my lighter weight. I like your suspension. I think with your bike, with a few days on roads that I'm used to, because you know it was a new road for me too. I think I would rip it up just like I do on my Jigs. And unfortunately, my bike has an electrical issue right now where I think it's related to the side stand and the first gear like cutoff. So basically, I've been having stalling issues, and unfortunately, that's been plaguing you as well. So, but you know, I'm gonna get that fixed.
Well, for the beginner when you're first time riding a sport bike, the first thing you should do first is to change your suspension. I think you're gonna ride more comfortable if you change your suspension setting according to your weight. So it's my suggestion to go to a professional sport bike, you know, to change your sport bike maintenance guy.
Yeah, like a mechanic.
Yeah, mechanics, so they can change the suspension for you.
I agree, actually. I think the best thing you can do to your bike is, besides your software, your brain, is get your suspension set for your weight. I totally agree. That's like the first thing you should do before exhaust, before anything else. Like get your sag set. So basically, you sit on the bike, and somebody has to help you. They measure how much sag you have on the bike, how much you're depressing that fork or that shock, and they'll set it just for you, so you're in the ideal zone.
Rebound in the shock zone. So
and I
it's
forget what the name is, but
that setting will make you feel more comfortable while leaning on the turner. So
exactly, because you know the whole point is to keep that tire on the ground.
On the ground, yeah.
And if it's too light or too soft or whatever, that's going to affect your confidence. It's going to affect your learning. It's going to affect everything. Plus, it could make you crash if it's extreme enough, and if you don't trust it. There's so many things that result from that. So I agree.
And plus, it's going to save your tires.
Yes.
It's going to save
What kind of tires are you running?
I have a Dunlop Q2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those are good tires. I'm running Michelin Pilot Pure. 2CT Pure.
Yeah, because when the suspension and the rebound setting is not according to your weight, it's going to eat up your tires.
Good point. And you know the